live in another time period. I don't have much to say, so this is going to be a really short talk. I'm sorry. I just wanted to come out here and try, so I'm going to give it a shot. Firstly, the first thing I'd like to say is, if I had a choice, I would like to live in this time period. I wouldn't like to go back in time. I would, and the reasons why, they're kind of weird, but the first one is my music. If you think about it, back in the day, people didn't really get a chance to listen to the music that they liked. We have iPods now. We can walk around. We take it for granted. We get over songs in like a day because we listen to them on repeat. You know, people couldn't do that back then. The only music they could have was occasionally they could go to an event and have like a choir or a group of people perform, or maybe a gathering, but they couldn't have that instant access that we have today. Also, or maybe they could sing to themselves, play an instrument. But then again, it might not be their favorite song, and they might not know how to play or sing. But moving on. Secondly, modern medicine. What was the life expectancy back then, really? Does anyone actually think about that a lot? How long would you expect it to live? I mean, 30 years? If someone dies at the age of 30 right now, people will take that big time seriously. But back then, I mean, it was a norm. And lastly, sorry about that. Erase that, please. The last thing is globalization. I know it has bad parts about it, but there's also some good parts. One thing that I really enjoy about it is the fact that I get to experience other people's cultures. So, and I know there's one person in this room right now who does salsa dancing as well, but it's an amazing class. So for those of you who haven't tried it, you should. It's really cool. That's just one bit of Latin culture that I get to experience without, and I could never have done that if I was living in the 1800s or something around there, back in Africa on my own in some small village somewhere, and never left and grew up there, died there. You know, it's kind of sad, but that's why I would like to do it this time period.
Time, Colin?
About more than 2 minutes.
Okay.
But
You had two ums. Just two.
verbal distractions are such a hard thing to keep track of sometimes.
So who wants to start us off? Tiffany? Would you like to start us off? Feedback?
I think he moved around a lot, which is good. And then I think he's telling a pretty engaging story, kind of.
So stories are good.
Yeah.
Movement? When you say the movement was pacing, or was it solid movement, not pacing? Would you like that?
No, it was not. It was nice. Actually, I thought it was really good.
It was good. Okay. What would you say, Nick? Two?
It's a little bit basic.
Oh no, just general feedback.
One thing was vocal projection. I think vocal projection is a little more, but
I would say that sometimes you could have been louder. I would say. So how about the eye contact? Oh, shows eye contact.
Pretty good. Yeah.
It was good? Okay.
And also the facial expression. So he kind of like very.
Oh my gosh. I just have to make a comment. You probably have the best facial expressions of most people that go up and speak.
No, definitely the smile and everything is pleasing to see and just listen to. So remember that when we go up, if we're nervous, not saying Shosho's nervous, but
I am.
if one of us just smile. It's always pleasing, right?
Yeah.
What else, Fiona, what would you add?
Maybe more tone changes.
More tone changes? Okay. So just verbal characteristics, right? Sometimes occasionally projected more, maybe change the tone, more that type of thing, kind of avoid that dreaded monotone, right? Talk about the hand gestures. How do we touch upon the hand gestures? Were they subtle? Were they dramatic? Were they very? They were subtle? I guess a lot of it also could be because Shosho had a paper singer, so it's more difficult, right, to have those unique type of hand gestures. But so we touched up that Shosho had, strong body movement, strong eye contact. Right? We also kind of touched up areas of improvement could have been the verbal characteristic, change the projection, change the tone and everything occasionally. Let's challenge ourselves. One more feedback of area of improvement for Shosho. What can we give them? Would you say, Reese? Do you have anything?
I just wrote that he paced a little bit. It wasn't that big a deal, but spend more time in each third rather than just hitting it and leaving.
Is that good?
Erasing verbal distractions. Erase that one.
Thanks.
Yeah.